Welcome back, everybody. It's D2, and today we're going to talk about being safe while running on the roads, especially in the fall and the winter months where we have less daylight. So the likelihood of us running in low light to completely dark conditions is very likely. So if you're running in the morning, you may start your run out right before the sun comes up. If you're running in the evening, you're very likely going to be running in the dark, especially as, around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and there's increase in traffic. It is rush hour traffic during that time period. There's a greater potential for something to go wrong. So what we want to do is cover some of these things. So first off, we want to make sure that you know the rules of the road. One, you got to run facing traffic. You want to be able to see the lights and the cars coming towards you, because if you are running on the road, it gives you the opportunity to see the headlights, notice them as they're coming towards you, and if need be, jump off the road and onto off the side of the road to prevent anything from happening. Okay, there are distracted drivers out there. There is obviously laws out there. Doesn't mean that people are following them. We want you to be safe and for nothing to go wrong while you're out on a run, because after all, it's supposed to be fun. It's a hobby, and we want to make sure that you're safe doing so. Don't ever run with traffic, because the cars are coming from behind you, and in doing so, you can't see them, the lights. You can't react to traffic. So running with against traffic is going to help. If you can run on sidewalk and there's sidewalks, great. I would encourage you to do that, especially in the dark, because it gives you a little bit more protection and that barrier from being in the road. But there are instances where there are no sidewalks, so running in the road is your only option, so be safe and do so. So now we're going to talk about other things that you can do to make sure that the drivers see you. So we're going to talk first about visibility. So first of all, how do you dress? Do you dress like this? If you dress wearing all black, you're less visible. Now, there are some things in a jacket or a windbreaker that is designed for running that does help. So in this case, this little logo here is reflective, so it does offer a little bit of pop. There's also reflectivity in the back, but it's so small. So wearing something dark like this makes you less visible, even if there are these little pieces of reflectivity patches that as the lights from the vehicle hit that, they reflect light back. So it does help, but wearing all black like this, probably not a great idea. So first of all, we want to talk about, like I said, visibility. This makes you almost invisible, especially if there are no street lights. You're really putting yourself in greater harm for something to go wrong. So don't wear stuff like this. Instead, try wearing stuff like this. Brighter colors. A color as neon as this is and as bright as this is what we typically encourage people to wear. That's why many of the running clothes that are out there really go for these bright neon colors, because they do make you more visible. Now, this piece, not only is it bright neon, it also has some reflective pieces. So once again, the logo is reflective. There's some pieces in the back, but that just helps improve your visibility. So the reflectivity, like I said, are pieces that will reflect light back, but if it's completely dark, it makes it a very small spot. Brighter colors like this are going to help you separate yourself from the darkness better and will make you more visible to drivers. So wearing stuff like this is always really encouraged and highly recommended to go with these bright pieces. And I know a lot of people don't like to draw a lot of attention to themselves and like very kind of neutral to dark colors. But in these instances, I would say go for the bright colors. You want to stand out. You want vehicles to see you and to notice you. So that's my recommendation. Another option, if you are going to wear dark pieces, try this. So now we get to reflectivity. We want and encourage you to wear reflective items, even if it's an add-on piece. So for instance, this jacket that I mentioned previously, it's largely all black, very little reflectivity, but it provides me additional layer of warmth if I'm running in colder weather. However, it doesn't, like I said, offer a lot of ability to be seen because it is a dark piece, and it could use some additional reflectivity. And that's where a reflective vest can help. And I know that most people think of the reflective vest and they don't want to look like a construction worker. Well, these here, this is called a Zinglet from Amphipod. So it's very minimal. It's not, neon orange or construction orange. It doesn't look like you're, part of the DOT crew. It's also thinner, so it offers a lot more options for reflectivity. This patch here is reflective. You also have reflectivity here along the straps, and once again, it's got that neon yellow, which adds that visibility as well, in case the angle of the light doesn't quite hit these reflective strips in the right spot. The bright yellow will help you separate from the darkness and stand out to those drivers. So keep that in mind. There are other options available. Like I said, there are the traditional, vests that you put on that are neon orange that do, like I said, make you look like a construction worker. They are very bright, and that's what they are meant to do, is to be visible. But there's thinner ones like this. There's some that now that are battery operated that have LED strips through them as well. So that's another option as well. So please, keep these things in mind because we want you to be safe on the roads. So the next thing we're going to talk about is illumination. So when we talk about illumination, this is, up to this point, we've talked about the driver seeing you, but what about you? How are you seeing in the dark? There are places out there that there's very little light, and also even when there is light, it does cast shadows, and there's things that you may not see that can be a potential hazard even if there are no vehicles. So for instance, cracks on the sidewalk, cracks on the road. You can easily trip over something if you don't see it, and in the dark, that's just going to increase. So by illumination, we were talking about, wearing a headlamp. So you've got battery operated ones, and you've got rechargeable ones with USB, and you can adjust the levels depending on, how bright you need it to be. I said there's USB ones that are rechargeable. You just plug it in a USB charger and you don't have to worry about, replacing the batteries. And then you've got others that are, you have to replace the batteries. They're either regular AA or AAA batteries. But this allows you to see what you're running towards. So like I said, for me, I tripped and rolled my ankle in broad daylight because I didn't see what I was hopping over. I hopped over a small, shrub, landed and rolled my ankle and got injured and was out for 6-7 weeks. In the dark, that increases because now there's less visibility, and like I said, a crack in the sidewalk, a crack in the road, an uneven surface is only going to increase that, where you can potentially get injured and your whole training is derailed. So it's not just the vehicles that are out there, but it's also your own safety, even if you are in an area that's safer to run because there's less traffic. The other thing to consider is when you are on the roads and you are running against traffic, is that this light, a vehicle seeing this light coming towards you, is going to notice you more because they may think it's another vehicle. They may think it's something else, but at the same time, the fact that you're running is causing this bounce, and that makes you even more visible as well. So keep that in mind. There are several different brands out there, from Petzl, Black Diamond, Nathan, and Nathan's done a really good job with designing headlamps and even handheld lights that are specific to running. So Nathan has these headlamps that, as it senses cars approaching, they'll start flashing. As a way of kind of alerting the driver that there's a runner there. If there's no vehicle coming towards you and they don't sense that light from the vehicle, then it's a steady light. As soon as they start sensing a light, they start flashing. Once again, alerting a driver that there's someone up ahead. They've got handhelds also, if you'd rather run with a handheld. That's the Firestorm from Nathan. That's a great feature, and I would really recommend that for a couple reasons. One, even if you've got a headlamp, it does cast shadows at a certain angle, and having a handheld and running it lower changes the direction of the light, and it does kind of separate things. So it provides a different angle of light and helps smooth out the road a little bit as far as those shadows. So that can help as well. The other thing, especially for women, is that there is a safety feature on there where it does have a siren that will go off if you need to draw attention from a potential situation or scare away a potential attacker. That's something obviously that is very important to you as far as beyond what typically us men have to deal with as far as traffic on the road and these other things. You have other things that you need to be concerned about. So those are other things to kind of think about. The other thing that I'll say is as you're looking for clothing to wear, like I mentioned, buying a jacket, an over windbreaker, or a heavier piece that is bright like this is going to definitely help you. Look for those pieces that are going to be reflective. Like I said, in this case, they are, the logo up front is reflective. There are pieces in the back that are reflective. But this is minimal in reflectivity, but it's bright in the sense of color. Look for things that are going to be a little bit better. So even in this completely black and gray jacket, this one is a great piece because it does have these reflective strips here on the shoulders on both sides. It does have them here kind of mid-chest as well, as this separates into vents. It does have it here on the sleeve in the logo, does have it here on the cuffs, and then once again, does have it here in the back. So these are great pieces because it does provide that reflectivity, and what we like to say 360 degrees. So look for pieces and apparel items that do provide that, because it's just going to make you safer. Even for a piece like that is completely dark, just something that adds more reflective strips along the apparel piece is going to be better rather than those smaller pieces. So the smaller pieces are great, but look for more. More is better when it comes to reflectivity. So that being said, I hope that I've given you enough information to know what to purchase, what to look for as you're purchasing for stuff, so that you're safe on the roads. And as always, come in and see us. There's plenty of products, and every single year there's new improvements made, not only to apparel, but to the headlamps, to the vest. So it constantly changes as a way of trying to protect you out while you're out running, so that you have fun and most importantly, that you get back home safe. So please come and visit us at any of our Big Peach Running locations. All of our guest advocates are available to help you with whatever your needs are. So please come in and see us. Stay safe on the roads and keep up on that training. I'll see you next time.